and welcome to today's conversation of Cass and the Flow. I want to take a moment or a little time to talk a little bit about a conversation that really directly relates to the safety of creator to customer and customer to creator. And I do want to compare it to a business of the medical field, as all of you are trying to educate on emotional health and well-being. That's called therapy and psychology, and that's illegal. Especially when you're only 22 years old, you don't have a college degree, and you don't have any success behind your belt. That's why a lot of these people always say, I think, my opinion, me. However, with the weight of who they are involved in, it gives them status quo. The parties they go to give them weight to the words that they say, which then in turn terrorizes those of us who are actually up to the real shit. So a lot of the time what we're seeing is these young entrepreneurs who have nothing to offer. And they look good, they talk good, they sound good, they're snake oil salesmen. They've watched individuals create videos of like snippets of what's actually going on, and then they just copy it. And then it makes them look successful, and the looking actually gets them in the door. And then they all work together in Ponzi schemes. But what's missing in all of this is they don't give a shit about anybody else, and they don't deliver on anything that they say they're going to deliver on. And then it just literally snowballs effects into mass virality, and that's why we're in this mess. And Chu's responsible. Joe Biden's responsible. The influencer sectors are responsible, especially since for some reason in the last 4 years, Motivan, you sure have aged a lot. You went from looking 26 to looking 55. Surprise. It's what happens when you're out of integrity. Could also be all the plastic surgery that you're up to. In the world of a professional business, there's requirements to own a plumbing business. You have to take courses, you have to have at least on-the-job training to learn how or invent something that's actually effective in assisting a customer. Now, with these people, all they're selling us on is their brand and their image attached to slave labor. And no feeling attached to it as they lounge on the Today Show like Alex Cooper and get praise and gratitude from the hosts of the show to validate them more into the downfall of this country when she's Canadian. Meanwhile, the abuser is Alex Cooper, who thinks she's a comedian like Kat Stinkler, who, by the way, is American. While they try to educate on how to be a good mom when she's not a good mom. So the snippets of conversation are brand and imaging, and then don't forget the shallow behavior of the bags. Or the fancy photography sessions in a big house, in front of a big house, where you erotically look at each other, awkwardly look at each other, and then everyone just agrees to that as if that's normal, and then they do the same thing. When you're supposed to be grown-ups, hanging out with a 17-year-old little girl called Kylie. So you're a grown-ass man, a grown-ass woman. This is not a family event, but Michael Rubin wants his daughter to make it in the business, so he invites her little ass to the party. He invites her little ass to the party so that she can get into the network of being just like the Motivans and the Kim Kardashians. While they act weird, they act strange, and you're old as shit, Gary Vee. You're old as shit. So everything that you educated people on is garbage now. You got plenty of time, all that nonsense and shit. That's garbage. That's not real shit. Because Monovan has shown us what is actually up in the business of influencing. The less you say, the less you tell, the less you educate, the more successful you'll be. That's what she's showing you. No regulation on the fact she's not a pharmacist. Only showing off provocative photographs to create abuse, to create bona fide bragging. Literally, who does this shit? Who fucking does this shit? You're at a fucking big ass house. You have nothing to fucking say. You brag about this, you're going to the white party, and then you erotically sit next to the pool, hold a container of lotion or some shit, rubs the lotion, and then rubs it on her leg. And then that's her content. And then she says, eat clean. And that's the Democrat way of getting votes. So lust, greed, and gluttony, wrath, and all the other things I talked to you about is being shown in every piece of content that she produces. She's counting on the fact that you're going to fall for her vagina. She's getting Gary to validate her in photographs. You at the white party are validating her, Melissa Wood. She's a fucking terrorist. You're supposed to be an American. You're doing the same exact thing she is. You learned it from her. And then you call yourselves good people? Noah? No one puts these people in their place and then they allow them to produce whatever they want to produce to intentionally cause wars on this planet. As a hygienist, you can't just show up in an office and be a hygienist. So why is it that these little twats are able to show up on the internet in front of millions of people and just do whatever they want to do? That's not a free country for those of us watching it. Our civil rights are being violated on a daily basis, and these kids have been brainwashed. They're sickening to be around, and that is why they're the worst generation in history. And they're fueling each other's private parts. With no law and no order, and the Biden administration opened up our borders so that women and men like Monovan are roaming our country. While Kamala Harris promotes abortion for American citizens. While black people segregate themselves while calling themselves no equality, when they're the ones that are no equality. Because how many black churches have you gone to where you see white people in the church? How many black businesses invite white people in there without you feeling unsafe? That's because you're not good people. You segregate yourselves. So you have opportunity to grow businesses for your whatever. You have an opportunity to grow businesses for white people and black people because there are businesses out there that do operate like that. But you choose to open ghetto-ass businesses and then use your skill with ghetto-ass people to disintegrate white people's lives. And then when a white person shows up to your black business, you say, black businesses. You get free ride, free money, Section 8, priority over skin color. And now we're watching your ghetto-ass lives on the internet where you're fueling nonsense and garbage in the form of presidency known as Juneteenth. Disintegrating the United States of America into you want to be slaves again is what you want. That's what Juneteenth is. Juneteenth is the emancipation of slavery. Who said that? The Muslims. Oh, the Muslims said that. Malcolm X, or would it be Obama that said it was Juneteenth? I don't even know what day Juneteenth is. Is it the 13th? Is it the 14th? Is it the 15th? Is it the 16th? Is it the 17th? Is it the 18th? Might be the 19th. I'm not sure. So that tells us everything about how clear you are and what leadership is. So instead, we get a Persian who has no fucking care about the United States, who's come over onto our land to tell us about her freedom as an American of her First Amendment right, not American. You're not an American, so you don't have a First Amendment right. Yet she's given a First Amendment right because she's promoting this new world order where there are no boundaries and no laws. So we're going back to the early days of the medieval times so that prostitution whores and brothel workers can alleviate their sexual desires all upon your husbands, all upon your children. Because we literally watched Heather Lamusa erotically dance with Tristan and didn't see anything wrong with it. We erotically watched Paris Hilton with Phoenix and nobody said anything. Or erotically watch her abuse London, waving her ass to a ghetto ass song, and nobody said anything. She got invited to the White House. So the more bad behavior that you display in support of the Democratic Party, the more you get more favor for favor. As I discussed with you that she went to the US Capitol multiple times, lied about it. The first time she went was she was supposed to do a speech for Iran because Iran was under attack by some dumb shit that she was involved in. Then she rioted in the streets of New York City with Gary Vee, which is in photograph. I showed it to you on the Twitter account. To where she then shows back up at the US Capitol with a bunch of white women talking about clean makeup. Then she posted several times to remind us in proposition to her agenda for herself. Then she goes and hosts a barbecue on the 4th of July as the 4th of July to tell you don't have a barbecue, have a girls' day event where you host with a chef and talk eat clean. A barbecue has an actual barbecue. Then she goes to the white party and brags about it and then tries to teach us on meditation on how to relax. So she gets you all pissed off and all stirred up. Look how hot she is, getting her hair and makeup done, and then she tells you about her meditation journey. Her meditation journey. In her mind, it's a reality TV show. We're on the internet of real life, real living, real people, but these people live in delusion and then hire people along the way, like Kim Kardashian, to fuck us all over while they make money. You worship the ground they walk on, and then you fail miserably, but you don't think you're failing miserably because you get to whack off to her prostitution outfit here and there. And that's actually what the Middle East is up to, by the way. They've enlisted these influencers to be just like that. That's why everybody keeps showing up in Qatar. Ever notice how Qatar is like a white? It looks clear. That's not real. They live in La La Land and they live for the rich. They don't have taxes there, so they don't help each other. These people are mentally ill. And then they're trying to bring their Muslim bullshit of terrorism. See, they like to get you to feel bad about feeling like you're not safe with a terrorist and as a Muslim. Muslims are not good people. We've tolerated you for centuries. They teach people how to be like Monavand. That's what they teach in the Muslim culture. That's Muslim to watch Monavand. Whatever she's doing is Muslim. The rich side of Muslim. And then they teach the poor people because they want the worship. And then it's whoever is the strongest of abuse. That's called dictatorship. But you never hear them call out the word dictatorship, do you? Why do they get on their knees and beg? Please, and then chant. And their language is shit. And they're not, you can't trust them. And they try to convince you in a silent way of saying, take this, Don't take it. Take this. Don't take it. Take it. Don't take it. Take it. And then you fucking take it. Then they tell you you're strong. You can do this. Go strap that bomb to your chest. Go do it. You can do this for Allah. Everything out of a Muslim's mouth is a fucking lie. And they're so proud. Conviction goes both ways. You do know that, right? The bad guys and the good guys. Bad guys are most of you. 100% Muslims are bad guys. They're self-righteous. They're bullies. They're disgusting to look at. And their faces are really strange, aren't they? Now we're looking at Hollywood, who's taken on their characteristics because they're all traveling to Qatar. They're all traveling to Qatar to do business in Qatar. So that they can put you all to sleep while teaching nothing, like Mo out of Saudi Arabia. Why would, in a country where they're not equal, try to be an influencer? Bragging about how much money they have, like every Qatar person that we see on platform. And then you as Americans think that that's what you want for yourself. And so then you start acting like it, which is what we're seeing right now. So all your little shit-ass kids who somehow went viral overnight, who are abusing your grandkids, have no education, have no business sense, and are selling garbage on the internet. It's like prostitution, pornography, gossip columnists. It's like no awareness in life. And then crying your eyes out and then trying to get validation from somewhere. And then not wanting law and order and then running over people to be like a leader. It's like a leader, but not a leader. It's like control. But the control is that only you win, but then you teach the audience that winning is for everyone. And they call that freedom. While they abuse other people's civil rights, and then as soon as somebody says that you're doing wrong by people, they don't say anything about it, or they violently attack them. That's Hollywood. They don't offer anything to you all, yet you're blindsided continuously by their bad movies. You want to go see Twister again? You want to go see Taylor Swift do this weird ass shit? She thinks she's powerful. She thinks she's Muslim. Have you not noticed how she acts very weird now? She cannot sustain the kind of bad shit that she's put out. You do know that she is a complete humiliation when it comes to performance, right? She's a horror show. When it comes to when you're a hygienist, you have to go through courses to become a hygienist. These people don't have any education. They don't have any education in Hollywood either. They just make it, fake it till they make it, but they never fake it. I mean, never stop faking it. But they've got all the money and then they're greedy and they lie. So everybody in Hollywood's a liar. They're all working with Democrats. They work together and collaborative against you as the American people, and now they have the influencers involved. None of these people have any care for other people, but they pretend to care about you. So they show up at these galas like the water charity events. Mona Van's sitting there going, I like clean water. Pencils of Promise. I like kids. How much do you make as a CEO of Pencils for Promise? And how much does that fucking gala cost, Gary? And how many years have you brought that bitch to the fucking Pencils for Promise? You psycho fuck. Now he's hosting a VCon where she's the queen. Now you're hosting VCon where you started it off with a woman and you kissing each other on the lips. That's what you think day trading intention is. Now, you need to take a look at the actual acts, not the words that he's saying, because the action is speaking louder than the words at this time. You need to shut your fucking mouth. The actions of what you've done are speaking way louder than what you're actually saying. You showing your bitch ass off at VCon like that was fucking humiliating. And it was humiliating last year too. She's fucking humiliating you. And you as audience, you don't say anything about it. You don't want to learn real ways of living. You say you do, but you don't actually fucking mean it. You want the free fucking ride. That's why you keep showing up at his fucking events, because you think he's going to share a video of you, and then you'll what? Go viral overnight, and then what? And you'll end up like Motivan. That's why all these prostitute bitches are going to be showing up at VCon looking for your cash. You all are fucking so fucking disrespectful to me. I cannot fucking stand any of you. That's what you want to understand. I fucking hate all of you VCon people. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. You're not fucking friendly. You're fucking sorry as fuck. And the reason why you're not successful is because you're boring as shit. You've decided to choose people like Mila Kunis, Drew Barrymore, and the other pieces of shit, or Palestine, which is even worse, over your own country, so that a Giselle bitch can sit like she's a fucking queen, than real ass citizens of the United States of America who actually deliver on real foundational skills to grow businesses so that lots of people can thrive, not make it at the top. 99% of you should not be owning a business. 99% of you do not belong owning a business, but there you go, showing your tits and your pussy off, and there goes a man who's running behind you with a purse. So you need to fucking learn how to fucking say no, Gary V. % of you need to find someone else to work for. 99% of you don't want to learn shit. 99% of you should not be in leadership roles. And that goes for millennial and Gen Zs, the worst generation in history. You think because you can make a post on Twitter that means shit about you? I post thousands of pieces of content a day, and you have 1 million followers, and you post a fart. A fucking fart. You have bad intentions on Motivan's platform. That's why your bitch ass gets fucking annihilated. People fucking hate you now, Gary V, because of Motivan. And you haven't held yourself accountable for it. You continue to participate in this fucking diabolical behavior. And every emotion I experienced was not because of my feeling toward it. It's their feeling. And then you can go ahead and whitewash away Motivan. Everybody fucking hates your fucking ass. Everybody, you can't whitewash this shit away. You can do it for so long, but your little Muslim bullshit, meditation shit, the trick that you're telling people was just another way of her manipulating your asses into submission so that she can go get her hair done and her makeup done and look good doing it. Imagine, I don't feel sorry for people like this. You might, Gary V, feel sorry for people like this. I fucking hate people like this. This is why people like Gary V have money and people like me don't, because I will not sell myself out for any form of this shit. Because honestly, truthfully, my happiness is this is what it looks like, folks, with Democrats at the lead. My happiness is more important than money itself or fame or fortune or even honestly your happiness. My happiness. But you, on the other hand, want to sell out and go to parties. And go to parties so you can make networking brand deals and get fucking shit-faced and wasted and talk like this because you've got millions of followers high on your own supply. Not really sure who told you that your music was good, or who told you that you're talented, or that you're interesting, or any of those things to make you think in your brain that you're worth anything to anyone. So instead, what they did was they made themselves better than you, and then made you take on the concern and problem that you were not enough. And then everybody has to doggy paddle their way to figure out a way to feel good about themselves. And every now and then they'll get a little fart stench of an acceptance from their little bitch Monovan and Gary V's kissing photograph session to again break the bridge. It's literally like this vicious circle of garbage. It's like unfucking believable. The whole bottom line of this is none of you want to actually do anything to help people. You are full of shit. How many more times are you going to stand in the line and ask Gary Vee? Really what you want to know is how to go viral. Well, how you go viral is you spread your legs like Monovan. Spread your fucking legs like Monovan, but make sure you do it to the right guy. Then figure out a way to manipulate his ass into giving you a diamond ring. And make sure the government's on your side too. You want to bow down to everything that is trending. This is how you go viral. Bow down to everything that's trending. And then make sure you're really sweet and nice. And know that you're selling out your family, your children, anyone that has an American birth certificate. Know that you're the only one that matters. And then figure out a way to get into parties so that you can manipulate your way into podcasts and bullshit. And then make sure you do not invite anyone outside the network in the network, and then follow their guidelines and show up at certain parties. Watch Gary V's path this past 4 years. Go watch the 2020 era where he's literally making videos in the same fucking apartment as that bitch. No guidance, no guidelines. It's basically a free-for-all of disrespect. But they don't have any feeling associated to it. No feeling associated with the fact that they were using me the entire time to fuck each other and then say, ooh, Cassandra. You really want to take a look at what you've really actually done. No, take a look at what's on the internet, Gary Vee, because that's what people are watching. Not what's in your fucking head of fraudulent bullshit that I've been sticking up for you. You're undercover? Really? Looks like you're fucking a fucking Persian to me. Looks like you're getting all kinds of brand deals and in the White House and the U.S. Capitol while all your fan base is saying, you should be the president. I'm sorry, but he's not American. We're not changing that either. Although that's in his mind. You're not going to be president, Gary Vee. Sorry. You're not born in America. You never, ever, 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 ever will ever be the president of the United States of America. And I damn sure fuck will not allow a Persian bitch to be the first lady. Do you fucking hear me? So while we have no regulations on anything that we're watching or dealing with here, it's a free-for-all of prostitution, whores, and sluts with men running behind their women with toilet paper, giving them free brand deals with no education, bragging about them fucking on camera, bragging here, bragging that he's at the Knicks game, bragging that he's here, bragging that he's here, bragging that he's here, and bragging that he's here while giving it little pebbles of nugget shit. And that goes for all of them. Like, your lessons in life have stopped. They put a lid on all of you and blocked out real educators because you're brainwashed into thinking that that is how to live on the internet. a reality TV. Reality TV show is real life. And then all you dumb fucks just chasing the carrot. Good luck. You're not going to get there. You're not, V-Friends, going to get there. The whole point of VCon 2024 is to show you how rich these people are. Mona Van's going to be gloating that she's at the Fly Fish event, gloating that she's here, gloating that he's with her, gloating, 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 gloating. And he's just going to smile and say, that's my fucking fiance. Look at her diamond ring. That's how he operates in every fucking situation while she rubs his neck and calls him babe. Meanwhile, the people that are actually up to real shit, who have real education, who tried to help you, their shit gets robbed by Gary Vee. And then they block them out, and sometimes they even take them to court. So I would say that you're using the judicial system as a weapon. I would definitely say that you are using the judicial system as a weapon and you're involved. Zadavan. Criminals. So your brand and image is fucking shit stained, Gary Vee. Because all those fucking photos that I posted all put images in people's mind and you're not saying anything different. That's what people see when they look at you now because you wanted to make a brand off of a Persian whore. Those are photographs that you were involved in, places that you were in the last 4 years. You did that. You accepted that. See, the hard part of getting across to Gary Vee is he keeps saying that it's fake. It's fake. Well, you're literally in the photographs. You're in them. You're prancing around holding her hand in my face. People are watching you at VCon. Your mother and father are literally sitting there having dinner with the bitch. And you're going to tell me that that's fake? Yeah, I don't see any genuine activity going on here, folks. All I can see is what's in front of my face, which is nothing more than a sadistic, narcissistic personality disorder of what the internet is. I opened the doors of the internet, folks. You're just little mini bitches who showed up in the middle of it. So that means I'm stronger than you. Remember all the other things that they don't remember about? Like the Walkman, all the other shit that had all kinds of different multifacets of wavelengths. So you're weak. I'm stronger than you. I know the movies. Y'all don't know shit about shit. You definitely ain't educated. And the shit that you're spouting out and putting out is nothing but fucking lies and garbage. So you tell me how the world's going to thrive off a woman who erotically shows herself at a fancy bungalow in France while she taints the streets and then riots erupt and talks in a soft voice. And you're going to accept that as normal. That's the fucking problem, that you're fucking accepting that shit as normal. You're like the lead fuckface in the fucking space, and your bitch ass is gonna fucking accept that shit as normal. And then you fucking stupid fucks of VCon or V-Friends or whatever bitch asses that are up to this shit are gonna accept that as normal because I'm talking about Ginger Beloved and her fucking slut ass. She thinks she's hot shit because she owns a V-Friend. She's fucking garbage. Yet you as a community fucked me over. Me. You fucked me over. That's because you're all shallow as fuck. You ain't got nothing to offer, and you're all a part of a Ponzi scheme. You ain't got no morals or ethics either, Discord. Yeah, you don't see anything wrong with that. You don't see anything wrong with what I'm telling you. No, I'm asking you. You don't see anything wrong with what I'm telling you. That's the fucking problem, you stupid fucks. You are assassinating people on a daily basis. No feeling associated to it. You just want to get your dick sucked. Wow, that's a really great life. Look at all the glamour and the prosperity of money coming your way. Wow, that's really successful. All hiding the fact that you're fucking miserable because of look at your fucking tits. And a fucking bikini top and Cannes Lions or whatever fucking piece of shit that Gary decided to bring you to again. How many years is it now, Gary? 4 years now that you've taken this bitch on trips? 4 fucking years? It's taken you 4 fucking years of time after time after time of spending time with this bitch while you fucking annihilate me on a regular fucking basis. Don't you fucking forget that. Why all her little fucking crony bitch ass friends do the same fucking thing. When the reality is they're abusing millions of people. They're not just abusing me. And you refuse to do the right thing, and that's the fucking problem. And that's the world we live in. On fucking blast.